What did Charles do to you? Ooh.
Coming up on After the Whistle, we'll bring you the best from boys and girls basketball around District 6, as well as action from the Big 7 wrestling tournament in Bald Eagle.
Plus, two unlikely heroes helped Penn State wrestling emerge victorious at the Bryce Jordan Center. That and much more After the Whistle starts now. After the Whistle is back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Justin Chevalella. This fall, we brought you the best in high school football highlights from around District 6. This spring, we'll be covering some of the best of District 6 boys and girls basketball, as well as Penn State's men's and women's hoops.
And I'm AJ Sisson. Our After the Whistle team will also follow high school wrestling as the state tournament draws closer, plus coverage of Penn State's 10-time national champion wrestling team, in addition to local and college baseball later this spring. But let's start with some basketball and head over to State High, where we see how the 14-1 Little Lions boys team fared against the 1-14 Harrisburg Cougars. State College is filling in their gymnasium as they try to get on the board first with this one. With a drive and score here, Ryan Perks looking to find a hole, finds a hole, driving to the rim, puts it up and in as he drops in the first bucket of the game. We'll start and get State College is trying to continue this momentum as Isaac Dye rips the balls away. He's going down the coast, trying to find a lane himself, puts it up and in, drills it in to give them State College a 14-13 lead. The student section is loving it here. They are roaring for their home team, but we'll go into the third quarter. Braden Shrewsbury for State College passes to Lake Black, who finds Ryan Perks in the corner for three. They'll take Harrisburg's lead down to 4, but State College wants to get this game back into their own hands as there's a steal by Shrewsbury. He jumps the pass. He's driving down the court. He goes up and in and banks it in for a 26-21 lead here for State College. The team will head back to the locker room at halftime with a 26-25 lead. However, Harrisburg will close this one out, leading 58-55. The 15-2 Little Lions will stay home and host Carlisle on Friday, while the Cougars improve to 2-15 and will travel to Central Dauphin for a matchup on Tuesday.
We'll stick right at State High, where the Little Lions girls team looks to break a 3-game losing streak Tuesday night against Cumberland Valley. The 6-9 Little Lions hosting Cumberland Valley. There is the gym and there's the warm-ups. And there's the Cumberland Valley swim and dive team rooting on the away team here. And right off the bat, it's going to be an 8-2 run, capped off by that two-pointer from Alexa Holcomb as Cumberland Valley opens up fast, but the Little Lions come roaring back. Diana Sarnakova getting the deep two of her own, and State College pulls within 3. They're going to keep it rolling. A step-back 3 by Carly Donnell ties the game at 18 apiece, and then it's going to be Cumberland Valley, though. They're going to come back, and it's going to be a spinning layup by Sinai Hill. She puts Cumberland Valley back up by 4 after that tie. Little Lions come right back, an inbound layup with the defense in her face by Lydia Tate. Game is tied at 24 apiece, but right before halftime, with the State College leading by 3, it's going to be a 3 there from Reagan Basehor, putting Cumberland Valley up. The half-court heave, no good before half. Cumberland Valley goes up 30-29 into half. Cumberland Valley would hold on to that lead to win 59-53. They improve to 11-5 on the season and will head home to host Altoona. The Little Lions fall to 6-10 and will visit Carlisle on Friday for their next matchup.
Well, the Clearfield Bison traveled to take on the Bald Eagle area Eagles on Monday night. Let's head over to Bald Eagles. There's a nice view of the basket here. And we'll go to the end of the first quarter. Addison Burns, she's going to run around on top of the key, gets the ball, takes the 3, bangs it in for a 3. Eagles lead 9-4. They will take this lead in the middle of the first quarter. But let's head to the second quarter as Hannah Gluntz tries a three of her own for the Bison. She misses it, but Kaylee Walker's there, gets the rebound, puts it back in the middle of all of those defenders. They'll take a 15-14 lead, but with a minute left in the first half, Sybil Thompson drives in for the layup and gets it in. Eagles will take a 20-18 lead heading into the halftime. We'll go to the beginning of the third quarter. Gabby Perry grabs the rebound and soars down the court like an eagle, uses her eagle vision, drives it to the corner. There's a three by Taylor Habovic. She gets the lead to 23-18. But halfway through the third quarter, Riley Ryan tries a three-pointer of her own and makes it in for Clearfield. Clearfield will be down 26-27 at half, but will come back to win 46-37. The Eagles drop to 6-10 on the season, while the Clearfield Bison improved to 8-9. Bald Eagle will stay at home and plays the 9-7 Penns Valley Rams on Thursday at 7 p.m. Clearfield is playing at home Thursday at 7:30 p.m. against 9-6 Tyrone.
Let's switch gears to college basketball, heading to the Bryce Jordan Center on Saturday for the men's home game against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Penn State, there's the crowd, the largest so far at home for Penn State this season, and it's going to be a crowd that gets the team right into it. As right off the bat with Penn State on a run, Seth Lundy, he's going to step back here off the pass from Jalen Pickett. Step back three is good, puts Penn State up 7-0, part of their 10-0 run to start the game. 2 possessions later, Sam Griesel, he's going to block freshman Keba Jai starting a Nebraska rally that would tie the game at 15, but Andrew Funk with the quick answer for Penn State. They'll take a lead. Here it is, Jalen Pickett kicking it out to Seth Lundy again. Stop me if you've heard that one. Lundy knocks it down from the top of the key, giving the Nittany Lions a lead. Funk goes with the reverse layup there, and that would give Penn State another big lead. Here it is, Seth Lundy with a hook shot from mid-range, also adding to a Penn State lead, which at this point is double digits. At the top of the key, it's Pickett, kicks out to Funk from downtown, Funky Town that is. He gets it to go for Penn State. And then to cap things off, Pickett and Lundy combining for the steal to finish the game. 76-65, Penn State would take that one. After the win, Penn State would go on to suffer a 64-45 loss to Rutgers on Tuesday night. The blue and white will look to rebound when it plays host to Michigan on Sunday at noon for the annual Fawn game. For Nebraska, they'll travel to Maryland on Saturday after a 78-63 loss on Wednesday against Northwestern.
Well, let's keep talking about Penn State hoops. Let's talk about the Lady Lions hosting Wisconsin Badgers over the weekend for their Sunday Fun Day game. Wisconsin looks to take an early lead in the first quarter as they go up 5-3, but there's Avery LaBarbera drilling in a three-pointer for Wisconsin, going up 8-3 in the middle of an 8-0 run. But less than 5 seconds left in the first quarter, Leilani Kapanis goes long and hits Chesky for a buzzer-beating three-pointer at the end of the first. But let's go ahead and get less than 3 minutes left in the third quarter as Marisa finds Tanaya Thompson for a three-pointer. They'll go up 34-28 in the middle of an 11-2 PSU run. But there's another steal by Marisa. She's going down the court. She's trying to find Tanaya Thompson, not Clay Thompson. She puts it up for three, bangs it in. Penn State will go up by 3. Thompson had 15 points, like Clay Thompson in the fourth quarter. The Lady Lions will improve to 12-8 on the season, while the Badgers will now drop to 7-14. Our reporter Logan Barandis was at that game. Logan, what can you tell us about this matchup?
Well, AJ, it was a big game that the Lady Lions needed to win to get back into the middle of the pack in the Big Ten, and defense played a crucial role in the victory. Let's take a look. The Lady Lions enter the Bryce Jordan Center on Sunday looking to snap a 3-game losing streak facing the Wisconsin Badgers. At first, hopes of snapping that streak didn't look great from tip-off as the Badgers held an early 10-3 lead, forcing a Penn State timeout. That prompted a big defensive change from Lady Lions head coach Carolyn Keeger, switching to a full-court press. The switch paid off as the Lady Lions ended the first quarter down 1, following a buzzer-beating three-pointer from Shea Chesky. Penn State stayed with the press, and it resulted in 25 forced turnovers, including 5 steals apiece from McKenna Marisa and Leilani Kapanis. Kapanis, a Madison native, also recorded her 500th career point. The defensive shift held the Badgers to just 8 points in the second quarter, giving Penn State a 5-point halftime lead. The two sides would exchange blows the remainder of the game, but an unexpected hero would emerge in the fourth quarter. Senior guard Tanaya Thompson surpassed her season high in the fourth quarter alone when she scored 15 points. The East Carolina transfer shined in the clutch with 3 three-pointers to help the Lady Lions pull away late with a 74-69 victory. Thompson led the team with an efficient 27 points, only missing 3 of her 13 shots.
First of all, I'm obviously just so excited for Tenaya Thompson. She's been battling all year, been patient, been waiting for her time, been growing, been in the film room. Can't say enough about her character, her resiliency, and her toughness. We all know she can score, and I said at the beginning of the year that I think she's one of the most underrated guards in the Big Ten.
Despite the personal stat line, Thompson remains focused on continuing to contribute to her team's success.
I just want to keep going up. Just want to keep going up with my team and continue to build these wins.
The Lady Lions will now begin a 2-game road trip, which starts against Rutgers on Thursday. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Logan Barandis. Penn State will look to make it back-to-back victories as they play the Scarlet Knights in Piscataway tonight.
Well, coming up after the break, a dive into the Big 7 wrestling tournament.
And a recap of Penn State's BJC duel against a top 5 opponent. But first, let's look at some of the scores from around the district.
How long is break? What are you going to say?
Hello and welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Com Radio, Center County Report, and Penn State's chapter of Awesome.
Well, let's go right into the Saturday's Big 7 wrestling tournament as we go to Bald Eagle Area High School into the 152-pound final. Altoona's Luke Sipes takes down Bald Eagle's Jeff Pfeiffer. Sipes would defeat Pfeiffer 11-4 to take home his gold medal. Look at him raising his hand. What a great win there. Let's go to 172 pounds. Bald Eagles' Caleb Close drew first blood with a 2-point takedown on Jersey Shore's Tyler Balder. Close would finish out the shutout by a score of 7-0. He is actually your tournament champion. Well, let's head up to 215. Jersey Shore's Hayden Packer forced Shikellami's Mason Rebuck to the edge of the mat. Packer would have to hold Rebuck off in the final seconds to take a 6-4 win. But last, but certainly not least, let's take a look at State College's Nicholas Pavleshko recording a lightning-fast 11-second pin on Altoona's Hayden Spiess in the heavyweight final. At the end of the day, Shikellami took home the most total points to be crowned the champion of the tournament. Let's take a look at the final team scores here in a second. Bellefonte was your top local finisher with 158 team points. Bald Eagle finished 4th with 137. Altoona and State College with Hollidaysburg rounding out the bottom of the field.
Now, why don't we head out to see some college wrestling? Penn State traveled across campus on Friday night to compete at the Bryce Jordan Center instead of the normal rec hall in a showdown between #1 Penn State and #3 Michigan. You can see here the BJC duel, 1 of 2. Friday night, Penn State entering 8-0. There's James Franklin and Athletic Director Pat Kraft with front row seats to the big event. We're going to start off in the 133-pound division. It's #12, Dylan Ragusin of Michigan taking on #1, Roman Bravo Young. The Nittany Lion wrestler is going to end up holding on to this one to win 4-2. 3 minutes of riding time in this one for Roman Bravo Young. Cut the Wolverine lead to 5-3. Next up in 174, #1 Carter Starachi of Penn State squares off against Michigan's Max Mailer. He took care of business by getting the pin. Let's watch this pin right here. That's going to secure 6 points for the Nittany Lions. Go up 22-5 after 7 bouts. Now to the big event of the night. #1 versus #2 in the 285-pound weight class. Michigan's Mason Paris after the crowd gets wild up, and Penn State's Greg Kirkfleet. In the end, it's going to be #2 coming out victorious. Paris upsetting Kirkfleet in front of the home crowd to give the Nittany Lion heavyweight his first loss of the season. It wouldn't be enough for Michigan, though. as the Nittany Lions roar louder than the Wolverines 30-8 to remain unbeaten. Penn State improved to 9-0 overall and 2-0 in Big Ten play after Friday night, while Michigan suffered its first loss of the season. For more on Friday night's duel, here's John Drager.
Thanks, guys. After the road trip to Madison to open conference play, the #1 Penn State Nittany Lions came home. Well, to their second home, the Bryce Jordan Center. In a bigger environment than normal, two unlikely heroes stepped up to the mat and shocked the nation.
In a duel that saw takedowns, reversals, and a pin, the #1 Penn State Nittany Lions cruised to their 9th straight victory this season by taking down #3 Michigan 30-8 in the BJC duel on Friday night. A good chunk came off the backs of two freshmen who found ways to upset their opposition. In the 157-pound weight class, number 17 Levi Haynes matched up with number 10 Will Luan. After a hefty match, it took more than 3 periods to decide the winner. In sudden victory, the freshman recorded the takedown on the All-American to get the 2 points in the bout and 3 points for Penn State. Haynes credited the win on his confidence away from the spotlights at the BJC.
Going into that overtime, just confident in what I've done at practice and just knowing that I'm going to go out there and do what I do just as if it was the first period.
Haynes wasn't the only freshman to pick up a nail-biting victory. It took number 16 Alex Facundo in the 165-pound division to go to ultimate tiebreakers and use his 14-second riding time to bring down 2-time All-American and number 5 ranked wrestler Cameron Amine 5-5. When it comes to a situation as tense as that, Facundo stresses the importance of willpower to win.
If I'm tired or anything like that, and this guy's more tired, and you just gotta kind of like want it more a little bit.
The two freshmen really enjoyed their first go-around here at the Bryce Jordan Center, but they don't have to wait too long for their second go at it, as just next week, Penn State comes back here to the Bryce Jordan Center to take on number 2 Iowa.
In the big lights of the BJC, head coach Cale Sanderson praises his freshmen for stepping up for the team's benefit.
They're both two very just consistent hard workers, coachable, listening, trying to get better, competitors. So when you put all those things together, it's what you get.
For the 6th largest indoor crowd in NCAA wrestling history, the freshmen truly shine bright in front of 16,000 spectators, and they look to do the same next Friday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, a familiar face stays in PA to join a growing quarterback room in Happy Valley. Bishop Guilfoyle's Carson Kiesewetter announced to Twitter that he committed to Penn State as a preferred walk-on. The BG play caller in 2022 after the whistle player of the year threw for over 2,000 yards for 18 touchdowns and rushed for an additional 1,500 yards for 31 scores. The senior led the Marauders to a District 6 AA title in the fall and lost to state champion Southern Columbia in the opening round of the state playoffs. Kiesewetter will join sophomore standout Drew Aller, redshirt freshman Bo Pribula, and incoming freshman Jackson Smolik.
Well, that's going to do it for our first show of the spring semester. Let me tell you, AJ, that was one way to spring into action in this spring semester. Be sure to tune in all season long for more updates around District 6. I'm Justin Chevalella.
Well, we'll return at the same time every Wednesday, but until then, thank you for watching this edition of
After the Whistle.